My brothers and sisters of Burkina Faso, my beloved Africans across the continent and truth seekers around the world. Today I do not speak as a politician, I do not speak as a soldier, I speak as a son of Africa, a child of a wounded mother who refuses to let her scars be forgotten. I come before you with a truth long buried, a history often distorted, and a story that must now be told, clearly, boldly, and without fear. Today, I bring you the memories of 10 courageous African leaders, our ancestors of resistance, who were either assassinated or overthrown not by their people but by foreign powers who feared the rise of a free and united Africa. This is not merely history. This is a map of betrayal, a record of what happens when an African dares to dream beyond chains. Let us begin where the first spark was struck. Number 1. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana. He was the first to rise. In 1957, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah led Ghana to independence. He was not just a leader, he was a visionary. He believed in Pan-Africanism, in unity, in building an Africa that would never again kneel before Europe or America. But that vision terrified the West. In 1966, while on a peace mission to Vietnam, Nkrumah's own government was overthrown in a CIA-backed coup. Why? Because he embraced socialism, because he challenged colonial economics, because he dreamed too loudly. He died in exile. But his dream, it lives in us today. Number 2, Patrice Lumumba, Congo. Then came Congo's shining light, Patrice Lumumba. Young, passionate, fearless, the first elected Prime Minister of the Democratic Republic of Congo. He sought to return Congo's vast wealth to its rightful owners, the people. But that made him a Cold War target. In 1961, with CIA and Belgian complicity, he was captured, tortured, and murdered. His body was dissolved in acid. Only a single tooth remained. That's what they left, a tooth, thinking they erased a man. But Lumumba became a legend. Number 3, Thomas Sankara, Burkina Faso. This one is personal. Thomas Sankara met my countryman, the man who refused to ride in luxury while his people walked. The man who vaccinated millions, planted trees, empowered women, and rejected foreign aid. He said, "He who feeds you controls you, eh?" In 1987, betrayal struck from within. Blaise Compaoré, once his closest ally, led a coup backed by foreign interests. Sankara was gunned down at just 37. But Sankara never died. He lives in the soil of every seed he planted, in the minds of every Burkinabe who dares to rise. Number 4, Muammar Gaddafi, Libya. A controversial figure, yes, but a visionary nonetheless. Gaddafi ruled Libya for decades, but his ultimate dream was not domination, it was African unity. He proposed a single African currency backed by gold. He sought independence from the IMF, the World Bank, and Western manipulation. In 2011, NATO forces bombed Libya. Rebels supported by foreign powers hunted Gaddafi like an animal. He was captured, humiliated, and killed. Since then, Libya has known only chaos. Number 5, Laurent Désiré Kabila, Congo, DRC. In 1997, Laurent Kabila overthrew Mobutu and took charge of the Congo. He stood firm against foreign mining exploitation. He wanted Congo's resources to benefit its children, not corporations. In 2001, he was assassinated, shot by his own bodyguard. But behind that bullet was a foreign hand. His death opened the gates to foreign plunder. Number 6, Sylvanus Olympio, Togo, the first president of Togo, a nationalist, a man who rejected France's plan to continue economic control over West Africa. He refused the CFA franc, that colonial currency still haunting us today. In 1963, French-trained soldiers assassinated him, shot outside the U.S. embassy as he tried to escape. This was Africa's first post-independence coup. It would not be the last. Number 7, Modibo Keita, Mali, the founding father of Mali's independence. A socialist, a Pan-Africanist, a man who dreamed of unity across our borders. But the West doesn't like unity, but only division. In 1968, he was overthrown in a military coup. He died in prison 9 years later. His only crime? Believing Mali should chart its own course. Number 8, Gamal Abdel Nasser, Egypt. He's often called an Arab leader, but Nasser was also a son of Africa. He stood up to Britain and France. He nationalized the Suez Canal. He called for African-Arab unity. The CIA and British intelligence tried to poison him. They plotted coups, they failed, but the pressure wore him down. He died of a heart attack in 1970. Was it natural? Perhaps. But even if his heart failed, his spirit never did. Number 9, Ahmed Ben Bella, Algeria, the first president of Free Algeria, a revolutionary who helped drive out French colonizers. A man who stood with other African liberation movements. In 1965, he was overthrown. The CIA and French agents saw him as dangerous, not because he was violent, but because he inspired. They silenced him, but they could not erase what he stood for. Number 10, Julius Nyerere, Tanzania. And finally, the humble philosopher, Julius Nyerere, a man who lived poor, ruled humbly, and led Tanzania with dignity. He introduced Ujamaa, African socialism. He taught us that development meant more than GDP. It meant dignity. But the IMF and World Bank had other plans. Economic sabotage, pressure, manipulation. They pushed him to step down in 1985. He was not killed, but his vision was wounded. My brothers and sisters, but what do you see? 10 leaders, 10 lights, all were dimmed, not by their people, but by those who feared African freedom. These were not accidents, they were deliberate acts, messages sent in blood. Do not rise, do not unite, do not dream. But here I am, dreaming anyway. And I know you are too, because from Ghana to Gambia, from Egypt to Eswatini, from Kinshasa to Ouagadougou, the fire is burning again. We will not forget them. We will not betray them. We will rise because of them. This is our continent, our story, our future. Let the world listen. Africa is awake. We are going to unite, so please share with your family and friends to join the...
As a continent, if we don't know where we are coming from, at least we should also know where we are going. Past has not favored us. We have been that tool in the hands of our colonial masters. I believe it's high time we begin to stand our ground and have that unity that will take us from the level we are today to the next level. African leaders, there's need to unite because there is strength in unity. If everything so far said by Ibrahim Traore regarding how some leaders in the past were fired or assassinated, I may use the word, then what make you think that what happened to those leaders back then will not happen to you if you do not see the need to be independently free from the hands and shackles of our colonial masters? Share, drop your comment in the comment section, whatever you think about it, and follow the page. Thank you as you do so.